Right, guys, before we start this video, as you know, we've got a school community. There's over 420 guys in there now. If you want to join, come and join us. We're having 3 calls per week. I'm going to change it to 8 p.m. UK time, GMT. We've worked out that that fits in with the Americans and everybody around the world. Everyone can get involved. And we might do one early call or something like that, maybe an accountability call on the weekends. I've just added the body language course from a few years ago. It's 3 hours long. Or maybe close to 4. It cost me about £3,000 to make a few years ago. So, I mean, the offer is unbelievable. And when we bring back the supplements, when we bring in the clothing and stuff moving forwards, you will get a heavy discount if you're in the school community. So there's going to be multiple benefits, guys. Hope to see you there. I'll speak to you all soon. Enjoy the video. Right, and guys, welcome back to another video. I'm currently in 1M House. You guys can probably see it looks a little bit different. I'll just give you a quick little scanning tool. Those have actually died, sadly. Guess they're not getting enough light and water in here, but we'll figure that out, maybe replace them. But yeah, you can see, looking very, very nice. I've actually got Tebow in the sauna. You guys can't see him, but he's making some content there. It's very cool. The reason for the video today, I wanted to talk about, a lot of people have been asking me, can you make another video about lessons you learned from your dad? I think a lot of people really enjoyed that, but for this one I wanted to do most important lesson from my dad. Okay, and the reason I'm making this is because I was telling the guys earlier, and you know, I always think when you get excited about something in terms of content, when you start getting, you know, you get that buzz and you're like, oh, I've got a great story, listen to this, I think you need to make content around it. So the topic, guys, is, it doesn't really have a direct point, but it's what my dad used to do to me. So when I was younger, it was around about, it would always be a Saturday or a Sunday, you know, the quote unquote lazy days, the days where you could sit in and relax and do nothing. And he would always have this trick. He would always do this thing, and I swear to God to this day, I swear he used to do it on purpose to try and make me a man, to make sure that I was like getting on with my life and getting things done. You would get a knock at the door, whether I lived in London, whether I was in our hometown and stuff like that, I would always get a knock at the door at 7 a.m. or a call at 7 a.m. And I'd just be like, who's this? And I'd run downstairs, open the door, and it was my dad. And one thing I always admired about him, he was dressed well. Head to toe, he was dressed well. He had on like an immaculate outfit, brand new, a jumper, fresh shoes, fresh jeans, whatever it was. And he'd always smell amazing. He was freshly shaved, head was shaved, you know. It looked as though he'd had a productive morning. And he'd always say to me, he'd say the same thing. I'd open the door and he'd go, you just got up. Were you just in bed? And he'd try and make you feel bad about it, which I in hindsight, I loved. And I'd always make an excuse. I'd go, no, I was kind of lounging around. I was having a lazy morning. He's like, lazy morning? Like, it's time to crack on. I've been up since 5 a.m. I've been to the gym. I've done this. I've done that. He was like, I'm showered. I've eaten. He was like, you need to get your day underway. And he'd always do that. So he left us at like 14. He moved to, you know, a different area or different place. But he'd always try and do that. He'd always turn up on a Saturday and it was always 7 a.m. And it's like, why are you here so early? Like, it was ridiculous. When I was like 18, my mum would be up and she'd be doing like the washing or cleaning or something like that. And like I said, my dad would be at my front door at 7 a.m. And I would be the one in bed, snoring away, being lazy. I was playing video games till late. They're both up. And he'd just say, like, he'd just try and put me back in that routine. Like, my mum wouldn't worry. Do you know what I mean? Like, as mums do. They're almost like, if he's tired, he can sleep. But he would always just drop that in. I remember that, where it was like, mate, what are you doing? You're still in bed. What the fuck are you doing? Like, get up, we gotta go. You know, get ready, get washed, get changed. Like, you can't lounge around all morning. The reason I tell you that story, guys, is because I now use it in my own life. And I've got a habit in my own life now where I always say to you guys, if by 9 a.m. I'm not sat at my desk working, doing something productive, if I haven't been, it might be a rest day, but if I haven't been to the gym, if I haven't, you know, let's say read a book, if I haven't done like some, like learned Spanish, meditation, whatever it might be, if I haven't worked on myself in some capacity, if I haven't, let's say, showered, got myself ready for the day, made myself look as good as possible, done my grooming, made myself smell good. Maybe for me, for example, it's like a head shave, little beard shape up and whatnot. You maybe do a little skincare routine. There's Tebow behind me. Give us a wave, Tebow. In great shape, look at him. Looking like a UFC specimen. If I haven't done all that stuff, I feel like shit. I can't start my day. And I definitely got that from my dad. And I see in the world today, there's so many people who, they don't start the day right. They really struggle. They could be in their 30s, 40s, whatever, and they'll have a lazy day on a Sunday. They will sit in front of the TV, they'll watch Netflix and stuff like that. Without fail, every single day, doesn't matter if it's a lazy day, doesn't matter if you're ill, doesn't matter if you had the worst day of your life prior. I'm telling you guys, get up early, get washed, get ready, hit the gym, obviously in different order. Make sure you've eaten, make sure you've, drank like a litre of water, make sure you've done something productive that morning. Maybe it's 15 minutes learning something. Like this morning I did Spanish for 30 minutes. I read part of a book. I've hit the gym, I've been in the sauna, I'm up, washed, ready, I've shaved my head, I've shaped up my beard and stuff. I smell real nice. Like, it's so important. Like, being in the sauna, your skin looks good. Me and Thibaut were saying earlier, we'll go for food later. So you've had a whole productive morning. You've had this, and this is the kicker for me. This is the thing that really cements it for me. You've had a whole day. You've basically included like a whole life inside this morning where you've got up and you've done things that would take most people like a year to do because they're just too lazy. They're like, Jim, I'll get around to it. I'll go next week and whatnot. You've gotten up and you've done like 4 or 5 things that are going to propel your life forward. You're dressed well, you're good. And this is like the second kicker to this. If something pops up throughout the day, if somebody goes, I need you to do this immediately, like this needs to be done, or if an opportunity arises, like me and Thibaut today, I'm sure we'll just go, do you know what, let's go for some food. We're going to eat food here and whatnot. We're going to just hang out at the house. But I'm sure at some point tonight, maybe we jump in the car, we go down to the centre, we go and get cappuccino, a little bit of food, we see the night out. Do you know what I mean? Yesterday there was 4 of us here, and that's exactly what we did. Like, everyone worked all day, and then we went, right, let's go down, let's go and enjoy ourselves, let's explore the city and stuff like that. And we ended the night real nice. And I just think once you're ahead of the game and you've done everything you need to do, you're not playing catch up. Because the worst thing you can do, right, guys, is you're kind of behind already. You've gotten up late, and then, like, I'll give you an example, perfect example for the video. My dad would then say to me, come on, get ready, like, let's do something. How come you've been in bed, you lazy little bastard? He'd be like, get up, you soft little cunt. And I'd be like, oh, all right, whatever. I now have to eat. I was like, well, I have to eat now. I have to shower. Oh, hang on, I just need to shave or whatever. Let me just do the... By the time we left, it was like 10 a.m. And he was like, I've been here 3 hours just waiting for this diva to get ready. And it was just like, well, I have to eat yet. And he'd be like, fucking hell. What you're doing is you're holding the day up. And he'd be like, there's no point now. Like, the day's over. Like, the day's kicking on. And I'd be like, oh, it is. It's only 10. But for a man that gets up at 5, it's late. And... like for me, let's say, for example, if you hit 5, 6 p.m. and you're like, I'm done. My day's a wrap. I want to go and spend it with my kids. I want to go and spend it with my girlfriend. I want to go and spend it with my wife. Whatever it might be, you've got an event to go to. People who aren't organized, who get up late, are like, oh, I'm just so busy. I've got so much to do. I can't make it. I'm tired and whatnot. People who get up early, they're like 4 or 5 hours ahead of the day. So if something happens or they've got an event later, they're like, well, I'm ready. I'm done. They're always on time. They always show up. And it's probably the greatest thing that my dad ever passed on to me, is just being that guy that even Saturday, even Sunday, it's like 7 a.m. and you're up, you're knocking on people's doors and you're like, what are you doing? Are you ready? Like, let's get the day going, let's get underway. And you're just ahead of the world. I'll tell you another example. We used to take flights. So it would be a flight to Barcelona or something like that. He'd be like, we'll book the 5 a.m. flight, we'll get up at 2, We'll drive down, we'll be on the flight, there'll be no traffic, we'll be in Barcelona for like 7 a.m. and the day can begin. And it's just like, it pisses you off because you're like, why am I getting up at 2 a.m.? But when you get there, you're like, he's right, we're ahead of the game, we're ahead of the day, we had no issues in the airport, we arrived on time. It is better. Do you know what I mean? It's just, that is something that I think, as a young man I didn't have, and as young men I think a lot of you probably don't have. But as you get older, you just start seeing the importance of these things, of just getting up early, getting washed and dressed, making yourself look presentable, making yourself smell good, being out the door, being at work early, if you're a 9-to-5 worker, if you're an entrepreneur, you've got your own business, you're sat in that cafe, coffee shop, at your desk, whatever it might be, for 8 a.m., 8:30, but anything before 9, you're ahead of the game, because otherwise, like, the emails come in and you're playing catch up, you get stressed. I think when you're 3-4 hours ahead, if anything pops up, you're like, yeah, I can deal with it. I've got time. So if you have to work late, you're like, I've already done everything I need to do anyway. That's majorly important. It's one of the best lessons my dad ever taught me. And it's more for like punctuality and just feeling like you're ahead of the game. Because I think you guys will know there's nothing worse. And I told a story on the school community earlier about this. I would like get up in the morning when I was younger and I'd be like, right, I'm going to hit the gym in a minute. I just have a coffee. I'll hit the gym in a minute. I'll go in a minute. Let's just check all the football stuff. Like, let's just see what happened over the weekends. Let's just see what people are talking about. I'll go in a minute. After that, I'll go. Oh, it started raining. All right, I'll leave it an hour. I'll wait. In that case, if I'm leaving it an hour, I might as well cook. I might as well have some food. What time is it now? 11. Oh, God, I've been sat here for 5 hours. There's no point going today. This is what happens. So many people would do this, and I'd be like, it's 11 a.m, I haven't even showered. And I was just like, oh, shit. You just can't almost procrastinate to the point where hours just tick by and then you do nothing. You're like, what the hell have I done? And I just think it's so important to be that guy that's just 4 or 5 a.m, you're up, you're washed, you're ready, you've done the gym. And then everyone says to you, it's like 9 a.m, people are like, have you already showered? You know, it's like a Saturday and you're like, yeah, and I've been to the gym, and I've been out and done this, and I've picked up this, and I went and got that we needed. I just think it's just such a show of manlyhood. I think it's just next level manlyhood. I just don't think there's anything like it, and that is the lesson from my dad. And I'm going to end it now because somebody's just started up the saw, and I don't want it to affect the video. So, hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'll speak to you all soon.